In this video, I'm going to count down my top 10 wish list for Star Wars Black Series Cinema Scene Multi-Pack. Stay tuned, I'm really excited for this one. What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Nerdzoic. If you're new here, welcome my nerdy friend. This is Nerdzoic. On this channel, you'll find my secret recipe for a combination of action figures, nostalgia, and just general nerdiness. If you dig that sort of thing, then please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, then come back every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for a new video. Star Wars multi-packs have been around for a while. These figures are awesome. The reason I love them is that you can keep them mint and packaged for display or open them up, and either way they display great. If you can't tell, I'm really passionate about this setup. The furthest back I remember is when we first started getting them from the Power of the Force. We got things like the purchase of the droids, the final duel, or my personal favorite, the Jedi spirits. Later on, they became battle packs, and we've seen them in many different forms. We've seen them come in build-a-set pieces. We've seen them come in the aforementioned battle packs. We've seen them come as 2-packs, 3-packs. We've seen them come in all sorts of varieties. We've even gotten some types of these in the Black Series. For example, the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Jabba, where it came on his little dais thing with the Jabba's palace in the background. Of course, nobody can find it unless you want to pay a lot for it, or you were at Comic-Con and stood in line for 8 hours. We've also gotten the Han and Greedo at the cantina that came with the little table thing. Just last year, we got Han and Leia on Hoth. So we've seen some, but I let my imagination go wild to think about, what else could we get? This is a great way to give us pieces of vehicles or playsets that just are too big to make in the Black Series scale. In fact, I made a video about the vehicles I'd like to see and how much they'd cost. I'll put a link to the cards up to that one here. Or possibly here. I'm not totally sure where it's going to be. This is a great way to give us vehicles or playset pieces in full scale, but not charge us $1,000 and make it actually doable for Hasbro. So for example, how cool would it be to get like a Death Star bridge? That might be foreshadowing. I think it's also important to point out that Hasbro mentioned wanting to get rid of bubbles and windows and just the general plastic on figures. I think they gave themselves until 2022 to get this done. But that doesn't mean we can't get these. Just last year, they released a Yavin Luke playset where it didn't actually have the plastic window, but it was still a window-like box. You opened it up and you could actually touch the figure and the accessories. Why not do that with these to save on the plastic? As far as shipping goes, make it a flap of cardboard where you can open it up and see what's inside. No window necessary, you save money on packaging, we help the environment, I get more toys, everybody wins. I'm going to talk about how much I think these are going to cost, and I'm going to talk about what I want to come with them. Let's do this, let's count down my top 10 wish list. Coming in at number 10, I'm going to call it Geonosis Standoff. I want a 3-pack of Obi-Wan with Anakin and Count Dooku as he's trying to flee the scene. The figures that would come with this would be a repack of the new Anakin Skywalker Episode 2 that's coming out. We could also repack Count Dooku, and this gives Hasbro a chance to give us a new Episode 2 Obi-Wan. As far as I remember, we haven't gotten an official Episode 2 Obi-Wan where he's got full-on mullet-ish hair. I know it's not totally a mullet, but it's close. It's like a space mullet. As far as accessories go, first off, Anakin's arm has to be able to come off, magnet style. Secondly, Dooku's got to come with Force Lightning to blow people up. And third, and this goes for all of these, it needs to come with a full-color cardboard backdrop featuring the scene for the backdrop and the floor. So for this one, it would be the hangar. If you want to throw in something else, give us Count Dooku's little servant droid that's with him when they arrive. I think we could probably get this made for around $59.99, although it's probably going to be a little bit more. I'm okay with that. I'll pay for it. $60 to $80, somewhere in there. Take my money. For number 9, we're going to go to Return of the Jedi, and I'd like to see a Shuttle Tydirium 4-pack. Package it so it looks like we're looking into the window cockpit of the shuttle. Maybe have it come with chairs and, of course, a nice backdrop. Let us feel like we're in the movie. Since this one's going to be light on the accessories, let's call it $99.99. Hasbro, please. Number 8's one that I think is a no-brainer and I think would sell really well, and that would be the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. Specifically the scene where they're coming onto Alderaan and they say, "That's what I'm saying, kid, Alderaan's gone." This would include 4 figures, 3 of them will be repacks. That would be Obi-Wan, Han, and Chewbacca. And then let's get the farm boy Luke with a new face scan. Like the good one, not the crappy one. They might have already updated this as a running change, I'm not sure, but I don't want the crappy version of Farm Boy Luke. As far as accessories go, this would be another cheap one. Let's just have a really nice backdrop and make sure that we have some sort of a control panel. It can even be cardboard for all I care, because I'm keeping this in the package. Again, I want it to be like I'm looking in the window of the Falcon. How cool would that be? For number 7, we're going to go back to the prequels and go to episode 1. And that's going to be the Feed Final Duel 3-pack. So this would be all repacks. We could do a repack Qui-Gon, a repack Obi-Wan, and a repack Darth Maul. Although I would like Darth Maul to have slice-in-half action, magnet attached of course. But I'd like to get some decent accessories with this one. Specifically the circular platform with the bridges that go off. Something like that that blends into the backdrop so that we can make a, I'm Obi-Wan, I'm hanging, and recreate that scene, or leave it in the box and still recreate the scene. Hasbro already has all these figures. It's a great way to re-release them. Go ahead and make it happen. About 80 bucks. Number 6, we're going to go to Cloud City. I like a 2-pack Luke and Vader. So way back in the Saga collection, they released 2 3 3/4 inch figures that came with pieces to recreate the scene. So it was a bridge and this weird radar looking thing Luke was hanging onto that you can see right now. These are 2 of my favorite 3 3/4 inch figures, but what if we got a 2-pack in the 6-inch scale that included the same things? The only caveat being Luke has to come with a bloody magnet stump hand that we can cut off. Again, you can remake this with just repacks, minus cutting Luke's hand off. Being the 40th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back, this is something that could have happened this year. It's too late to happen now, obviously, but 45th anniversary, this is something that I think both kids and collectors alike would be all over. Number 5 is one that I'm going to admit is more for me than it is for the masses, and that's a 2-pack with, again, Luke, but this time it's going to be from The Last Jedi, and it's him versus Kylo Ren on crate. Now, the problem with this is I'm not really sure what accessories it can come with, but you can make a great scene with a cool backdrop, maybe give us some plastic stand with the red footsteps. That'd be cool. As much as I bash on the sequel trilogy, I really like this scene. This is one of my favorite scenes in all of the movies, believe it or not. You could use a repack of Kylo and finally give us our Luke on crate that we have been waiting for. Because this really wouldn't have any accessories, I think they could make this happen for $39.99 or $49.99. Number 4 on my list, I'd really like to get, but I just don't see it happening because I think it'd be expensive, because it would need to come with a total of 5 figures. I would like the Arrest of Palpatine. So this will be 5 total figures. It would include a repack of Mace, a repack of the new Kit Fisto coming out. Then we need some new sculpts. So we can get a Chancellor Palpatine, we could get an 𝐸𝐃, I think I'm saying that name right, and a new Sassy Tid. As far as accessories go, it'd be cool to get Palpatine's table and chair that he's sitting in when they approach him. Maybe the sling action lightsaber I've been talking about forever, taxi driver style. We would of course need Force Lightning to go with Palpatine, and then maybe we can get 2 heads for Palpatine. One before Mace kicks the crap out of him, and one after he's all fried. With 5 figures and multiple accessories, this would not be cheap. I'm thinking best case scenario, we're looking at a $120 price tag here, which means that the odds on Hasbro on making this are sadly pretty low. Alright, for this one I'm going to go back to A New Hope, and I'm going to go back to the Death Star meeting room scene. So we get 3 figures in this pack ideally. We get Darth Vader, repack, Grand Moff Tarkin, repack, and then we'll get a new figure in Admiral Moti. Ideally, Admiral Moti will have 2 heads. One where he's all cocky with "Don't try to threaten me with your sorcerer's ways, Lord Vader." And then another one where he's getting choked out. As far as accessories go, either give us cardboard or plastic space walls. And if you don't give us plastic space walls, then maybe a nice shiny black table just like we get in the movie. Number 2 would be the Carbon Freeze Chamber. And I like to see this as a build-a-scene, so I'm kind of cheating here. And honestly, we need like 10 figures, so each one would probably be in the $150 range. So to build the entire scene, you're looking at like 300 bucks. But if they did this right, this would be a massive diorama that could be set up. As far as figures go, most of them would be repacks. We get a repack Chewie with C-3PO that came out just last year as an Amazon exclusive. We get a repack Lando, a repack Leia, a repack Han, a repack Boba Fett, a repack Stormtrooper, a repack Darth Vader. And then we can finally also get a couple new figures. We can get an Ugnaught, and most importantly, at long last, a repack 6-inch Han in Carbonite. And maybe release a Bespin Guard or something to go with it. Probably don't do that, no one's buying that. But the other 10 figures are a must. So give us 2 5-packs, give us the parts to build the cool carbon freezer. You can use the old Power of the Jedi playset as an example for how to build it. Just scale that sucker up. All in all, this would not be cheap. Like I said, probably about $300 total, 2 of them, each one for about $150. Collecting gods, please make this happen. But I want number 1 more. Before I get to number 1 though, honorable mentions. It's actually just going to be 1 honorable mention. So remember in the beginning of this, I talked about the cinema scenes that Power of the Force did? Well, my favorite one, as I think I told you earlier, is the Jedi Spirits 3-pack that features Yoda, Obi-Wan, and Sebastian Anakin, which is the old Anakin, all as blue spirits. I like that re-released, but as a 4-pack. And we get the same exact figures, except as the 4th figure, we get Hayden Christensen. That way, we can decide who we want to display. Do you want to do original Return of the Jedi or special edition Return of the Jedi? Either way, you're covered. I know that's probably never happening, though. It's okay. It's only an honorable mention. All right, number one. The number one thing I want is I want a 2-pack. Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Darth Vader on the Death Star, final duel style. As far as accessories go, I like the hangar bay door and maybe either a space wall or two. You could even make those cardboard and give me the hangar bay only. I'm okay with it. But I figure you could probably do this for the $50 to $60 price range, and people would buy the hell out of it because it's Obi-Wan versus Vader. Plus, both figures are repacks, so you don't need to do any new sculpts. Oh, I love this so much. All right, guys, let me know. Am I in the minority, or do you enjoy these multi-figure scene sets as much as I do? In the comments, go ahead and tell me which one of the 10 I mentioned you'd like to see most that you'd be willing to pay for. If you enjoy these Black Series videos, I'm gonna put a link right up here to my Black Series playlist. I have different reviews on there along with countdown, speculation, you name it, wish lists. It's all there. If you're a newer collector, it can be a little intimidating, so I made a bunch of videos that are aimed at new collectors. I'll link to that playlist right there. And of course, if you're new here, go ahead and force push the subscribe button to make sure you don't miss anything. Stay cool, stay nerdy.